seizure. Abishade slams FG 3.6 trillion naira power subsidy proposal, says Nigerians paying for darkness. All right, on page 28, APC leader advocates establishment of military base in Ogbomosho. You will also go to other stories there. Page 30, we have the story in Nigeria's para badminton athlete set sight on Brian World Championship. The good, the bad, and the ugly side of 2025. Ethan Newiri hints at future with Eagles. All right, those are the stories that made the headline this morning from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We'll go to stories from the Vanguard newspaper of this morning. All right, the stories this morning from the Vanguard newspaper says you have the major one there, 2027 polls. How certain senators block real-time result transmission. The story is on page 5. With some riders, Senate bow to pressure to hold emergency sitting tomorrow instead of February 24. NBA worries over delay in Electoral Act amendment, says judicial interpretation key to credible polls, no mandatory e-transmission of results, no election. That's coming from NLC. All right, Kanu orders cancellation of Monday sit at home. And you have other stories there this morning. Manufacturers record 1.8 trillion unsold good as demand slumps, inventory surge, contradicts official claim of economic recovery. Raw materials set up 15.4% to 1.5 trillion naira. Nigeria's industrialization effort weakens. See, that's coming from CPPE. CEO, rising cost, weak demand, squeeze firm, CIS. President, we're on a commercial break. And when we come back from the commercial break, we'll take more stories from the Vanguard newspaper of this morning. Stay with us, don't go away.
Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids.
All right, welcome back. It's still AM120 on the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. All right, you have the story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. FG oil production data cast out over 2 Mbpd. All right, 2026 target. Police arrest suspects over death of gospel singer. 3 others in Ajia music studio. All right, what are the other stories here this morning? Let's go to stories inside the Vanguard newspaper. Of course, we'll come to page 5, where you have the stories there on the pseudo trade IPOB face-off over move by government to stop sit at home. All right, police arrest suspects as 4 found dead in Ajia studio. Pope Northern can condemn Kwara massacre. 1 killed in fresh attack. Black Sunday in Kano as auto crash claims over 30 lives. All right, 2 dead, several injured as headers attack Benue communities. All right, China-bound auto parts dealer excretes 95 grams of cocaine. That's from the NDLEA. All right, suspected kidnapper and killer of Edo doctor arrested. Bandit strike Kaduna community abduct Fulani leader. Chief Imam orders. All right, El Rufai warns against regime security. NNPCL, 1.5 billion naira, I beg your pardon, $1.5 billion refinery failure proves my privatization calls right. That's coming from Atiku. All right, Shetima chairs neck confab to drive inclusive growth. NBA boss Osigwe denies branding George. Lawyer was bribe taker. All right, BOI gets CBN's approval for non-interest banking. Personnel cost surge in threatens survival of domestic airline. Tinubu to visit United Kingdom March 18. Ghana cancels envoy to Nigeria over alleged election malpractices. Police promote 74,352 officers nationwide. All right, and let's go to other stories there this morning. Serap drags senator to CCB over removal of e-transmission clause. We'll go to some other stories. uh, 2007 presidential election, why nobody would beat Tinubu in Lagos again, by Senator Ganiu Solomon. All right. Kogi government shut 60 market motor parks to boost security operations. Kaduna now economically better as reform pays off. That's coming from Sani. All right, we'll go to other stories on the pages of the newspaper this morning. Murtala Mohammed maneuvering through unpopular consensus. Press freedom, intelligent power, and Nigeria's leadership in West Africa. All right, we'll go to other pages there this morning on page 17. SEDEC will need protection from political extortion for now front. Opportunity has no mother tongue. And we'll come to page 18, 19. The pastor and the first lady, the masterclass is soft power diplomacy. That's talking about the first lady, Remi Tinubu. Dangote Cement vows to make Africa self-sufficient in cement production. Right on page 20, Nigeria manufacturing job growth outpaced productivity in 2 decades. On Financial Vanguard, manufacturers record 1.8 trillion naira on sold goods as demand slumps. And we'll come to FG targets stronger gas to power linkage to boost electricity supply. Rising manufacturers' inventory contradicts government claims on economic performance. Why Tinubu is succeeding in turning around the economy. Customs intercept 144 smuggling attempt, seizes 3.3 billion naira contraband. BOI secure CBN approval to operate non-interest banking. All right, we'll go to some other stories on page 25. Have no rift with Oshomole. That's coming from Tenebe. Says Okwebolo remains leader of Edo APC. Gives insights to 3.5 million votes. Promised Tinubu. Rising oil spill. Masop calls for youth-led pipeline security. Diaspora groups moves to revive Edo Hospital. And of course, Utomi attributes accomplishment to God's grace. All right, crisis brew as family reject Rivers Monarch. And on page 26, 2027, how 3 southern senators scored to real-time e-transmission of election results. All right, on page 27, Kanu orders cancellation of Monday sit-at-home. Our Enugu grew IGR from 26.8 billion naira to 406.7 billion naira. All right, DMO ends NGFX recognition for strengthening capital markets. Ajala urges preservation of stream forest as alternative heritage. Igbo group demand ban on living history textbooks. Terrorism, Ohaneze PG didn't call for arms. That's coming from Igbo youth. And of course, we'll come to some sports story this morning. NFF keen on extending Chile's contract. Chile moved to convince Neweri on nationality switch. Davis Cup, Nigeria sees momentum with a double win over Uzbekistan. And 2026 WAFCON have to decide on host next week. Edo Sport Commission Chairman Laos Insurance victory over AIMBA. And of course, that's as much as we'll be taking. Okay, we have just CAF Champions League. Paradigms Cross Rivers United. Oseme scores as Galatasaray trash Rispor. All right, we also have a glamour of football incomplete, without supporters. EPL right slam at Morim as United win 4th game. All right, Qatar Open, Gaf Mboko links up late for double, and that's as much as we'll be taking this morning from the Vanguard newspaper. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll go on a break, and when we'll come back, we'll be giving you some weather report and, of course, goals for today. Stay with us. Don't go away. All right, welcome back. It's still AM120 on the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. All right, I'd like to welcome you back as we, of course, begin with our interviews. And this morning, our guest in the studio is Professor Kazeem Olaniyan, who is a legal scholar. And of course, this morning, we'll be looking at proposed amendment to the Electoral Act. Professor, you're welcome this morning once again. It's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very
It's
much.
always very educative and interesting when you're here.
Thank
So
you.
we must thank you for coming all the time.
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, so while looking at this topic, the Senate has passed the third reading of the Electoral Act of 2022, Repeal and Reenactment, Amendment Bill of 2026. The bill introduces several changes to the election timeline, technology, and penalty while retaining certain existing provisions. The key legislative changes and rejection. 1. Electoral transmission of results. The Senate rejected a proposed amendment to make the electronic transmission of results mandatory. The rejected proposal would have required presiding officers to transmit polling unit results to the IREV portal in real time after forms were signed. The adoption provision of the Senate maintained the current law, which allows the Commission to prescribe the manner in which results and accreditation data are transferred. 2. Voter identification and accreditation. Maybe we should take it one by one so that I don't overload you. Prof,
Yes.
when we look at the need for amendment of the Electoral Act,
Yes.
let's look at what we had. Was there a need in the first instance for this amendment, let alone leaving some, rejecting some, and accepting some?
Thank you very much for this very incisive question. It's a very sound argument to say that some of the proposed provisions for amendment are very germane to the development of the democratic process in this country. However, what I don't agree is why are they slowing it down? Why are they delaying such amendments if they know that it's very crucial to the development of the electoral process? In the first instance, it has been on for quite some time. Now, amendment today, amendment tomorrow, hues and cries. I think the House of Rep passed their own in
20 in December or thereabout. And House of Rep, when you look at House of Rep, they have more number of so many people who are going to be involved in the passage of such an bill. The Senate that is still delaying are of fewer number, yet what they are doing is not the best for us at present. For instance, when the House of Rep actually passed the bill in December, sometimes in December, there was, I think that there was no objection, so to say, to what they passed, because we hardly know what that bill contains. But for the Senate has not even passed. They are only discussing for the third reading, passing through the third reading. We have, in fact, what they have rejected, what they are likely to pass as bill is already in the public domain. I think this is not too good. However, I think they are only playing politics with the citizenry. How?
But before you tell us how they're playing politics, quickly let's pay some bills. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go away. Still AM120.
Win up to 5 million naira and other exciting prizes in the Golden Morn Golden Hunt promo. Buy any 30-gram or 45-gram promo pack. Look inside for a unique code. Dial *8011*1#. Follow the prompts to enter your unique code to win big. Promo ends April 15th, 2026. Golden Morn. Make every day golden.
All right, welcome back. It's still AM120, and I still have with me in the studio Professor Kazeem Olani, who is a legal scholar with us on the program. Prof, before we went on the break, you were telling us how.
Yes.
How you think they're playing politics with Nigeria?
They're playing politics with the citizenry. Yes, I said they are playing politics with the citizenry on this democratic process. Why? Because the election is within the corner. INEC has released the timetable. Now, they now told us that one of those provisions they are likely to change, which is going to contain in the new one, is that they will be having the election in a single day. Why are they doing that now? Why haven't they done it since several months ago? Especially when they know that INEC is supposed to release the election timetable only within a year of the election year. Now, they are likely to do some election within the next few months in some states. And the general election is, of course, more than a year. Are they likely to make use of the new amendment in those elections? They have not.
So that's where you think they're playing politics?
Yes, that's one. Two, they are trying to fly a kite. Trying to fly a kite of saying, okay, we have rejected this. Let's see what the reaction of the citizens will be. What the reaction of the public will be. Oh, let's say we have retained this. Oh, they will shout. Say, no. They will now come back to their share and now do the right thing. That's what I said. So it is as if they want to fill the pulse of the Nigerians. What they would like, what they would not like. They are also afraid because they too came through election or electoral process to that house. So they will not want to jeopardize the system in a way that will make it difficult for them to come back. Most of them are interested in coming back. Most of them wanted to go further, to be governor of their state or to even contest for the presidency.
Let me ask you this funny question while trying to digress away from the main conversation. If you look at the system of government we're running, some people have been in that National Assembly for
ages.
For decades.
Yes.
Don't you think we need to revisit that particular law that keeps our, lawmakers there for as long as? Yes.
Don't forget, it's a renewal.
It doesn't matter.
If the citizens, if their constituency still feel that they are good enough,
But there's no third time for a president, a governor.
No, they are not. You see, we are following the kind of a democratic process that we borrow.
Using it.
Yes. So that particular leadership structure, which does not include the presidency, it's deliberate.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
the powers resides much on the presidency, from our constitution. It resides much. You will see that our pre-colonial ownership is for life.
It's lifetime.
Yes. So when you now see those Oba that are so much of a dictator, they're very difficult to remove. So what they do is that, okay, go and die. Mashiba. They cannot do such to a president because the impeachment process is very cumbersome. It's easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle than for them to impeach a president, a sitting president. It's not easy. It is easier in the states with collaboration from the president, national. It's easier. But for the presidency, there's nobody that you report him to.
Okay.
That you can, okay, let me
Okay, I'm sorry for digressing,
yes,
but we needed to also look at that.
It's part of the electoral process.
Yes. Now let's come back to the Electoral Act 2022.
Yes.
I did mention earlier that
2022, which will now become
2026. 2026. Yeah, so the key legislative changes, the first one I mentioned was the electronic transmission of results.
Yes, let's
now, I don't just want us to look at the electronic transmission of results, but looking at it from the fact that when elections are concluded, these are supposed to be evidence that can be used at the tribunal. So I want us, while discussing it, look at it from that angle.
Yes.
That is a document that will be presented before the judiciary to determine who
actually
won the election.
Why do we, my question, before you go on, my question is that why do we depend on election that will go through judiciary?
Well,
why can't we do it in a way and say, everybody, can you see? It's very clear, simple, free, and fair.
All of that will also be determined by this particular part,
yes,
which is the electronic transmission. I mean, if election is transmitted real time,
it is an anticipation.
There might not be need for anybody to go and contest.
Without.
Yes, that's what I'm going to.
I can see what you mean.
Yes, so let's not look at it. Should it have even been an issue that the Senate would be dragging their feet on?
Okay. If that's your question, see, don't forget that we had an election in this country that judiciary read out, delivered the judgment in 2 days. I mean, for 2 days, they are still reading the judgments because they compiled, they actually consolidated some of these electoral results and the cases. Now, electronic transfer, what does it mean? What does it entail? It entails so many things that some of us, I am not a supporter of saying it must be. Because I know what I suffer when any issue happened to my phone. For
psychologically, emotionally.
Oh God, trauma. just last Thursday, I was able to resolve a very naughty issue on my bank app. Simply because I would just click and it said, "Oh, you are not authorized." My own bank. What have I pressed? What exactly is the problem?
I can imagine.
And I try with all my little knowledge about electronic
transfer.
I have to go to my center. Such thing means that we are not so developed when it's come to electronics, infrastructure. We are not so developed in a way that we will say, "Oh, we are perfect to go." But the internet is not Nigerian that are providing this internet. Look at what is happening now that they can even hack the bank app, not even the WhatsApp now because WhatsApp is so common. They just send the code up. The moment you click it, they are gone. Bank app, they hack Facebook. What haven't been trying, to hack these days? That's another point. Then thirdly, the Senate are even in their own right. They said there are 9 states in this country that does not have internet facility. Is it really true or not? Let us look at it. If it is true.
9 states.
Yes, 9 out of
maybe people don't live in those states.
I don't really know. But that is what the media said. The 9 states that they said if they make it mandatory, that means those 9 states must comply. And look at it. The opposition are looking for a way of saying, just put it in the provisions of Electoral Act.
That if, as a clause.
Yes, as a clause. So if that if is what the Senate want to put, and if they put that if, that means it's not even necessary to be there. That's what the people now try to interpret as saying, oh, they are rejecting it. No, it's not that they are rejecting it. They want to put condition upon which INEC must see that this condition will be fulfilled before they can now go ahead and say it is mandatory. If it is not, INEC will not use it. So if they put it there, it's like they have not put it there. That is to the opposition. That the moment you put a proviso, that's what we call a proviso in law. The moment you put a proviso in terms of an exception, that means you cannot take them up for not doing it. That's the meaning. That's subject to this, or provided that this, and so on and so forth. If you put that in the legislation, it means that when it gets to the interpretation of that constitution or that legislation within the judiciary, they will shut it down, because that means you cannot compel them. It's not a compulsion. That's what it means. And when it is not a compulsion, the opposition are now saying, yo, look, we are not satisfied. There's no way we can accept this from you. And if you are now asking me, why is so much furor about this, provision?
Okay, let me.
We're not aware that we are not sophisticated when it comes to internet.
Okay, so I have this information. It says, based on recent reports, there are no official list of 9 specific states in Nigeria.
Yes.
Entirely without internet, but rather 90 to 110 polling units out of 176,864 and over 100 communities that are unserved and underserved, particularly in rural areas.
Yes,
facility. While urban centers like Lagos and Abuja have high connectivity, a significant digital divide exists, with roughly 77% of rural communities lacking quality internet access. So, state and region with low internet access.
Yes.
Southeast region reports in early 2022 indicated that this region, Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo, often ranks lowest in internet usage.
Can you imagine?
Northern states, mainly rural areas in states such as Kebbi, Taraba, and Niger, struggle with weak or non-existent connectivity.
Yes.
Underserved states, other states often cited with low subscription numbers include Bayelsa and Ebonyi. Now, if you look at what I just...
2022
yes,
reports.
Early 2022
yes.
report.
So, between 2022 and now, have we done anything? Have we improved on them?
Now, and we also had election. Maybe it was due to the election need that made us do that research.
Yes.
Which gave us this report in 2022.
Yes. All these reports are tabled, attended before the judiciary.
Now, again...
In the last presidential election.
Now, again, one of the things I observed from this report is that it's saying that it's talking about low subscription. Mm-hmm. Now, the fact that people don't subscribe.
Yes, that means they're not using it.
No, it doesn't mean they're not using it. That's not the point, sir. Mm-hmm. The point is that maybe, if you remember during those periods, the economic situation of the country will make you choose between subscribing to data, or recharging your call line, or eating, or ensuring that your family eats. Because there was a hardship between this period.
Yes.
So it cannot be a yardstick to say that because there was low subscription, meaning that there was no internet in those areas.
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't say there are no internet. What I said is that means they were not being used.
I'm talking
for whatever reason.
I'm talking about this report, Prof.
Okay, I do agree with them. That because there are low subscription means there are no internet.
Prof, don't you think we are coming to
there might be internet? People might not even be subscribed.
That's the point I just made.
Because it talks about subscription.
Yes, that part.
If they are not subscribing, does not mean that it's not present, but they are not using it. So it might be born out of the fact that economically they are not buoyant enough to use internet.
Prof, let's look at the telecommunication sector. It's
Yes.
not it may not be your full expertise, but of course you do have certain knowledge in those areas.
Yes.
Now, if truly businesses thrive, and we have more telecommunication companies, coming up, is being privatized for how many years?
Cashless
Policy and all
economy,
of that.
Yes.
Now, don't you think that by now, I mean, some of those private owners should have looked into establishing internet services around those areas
Facilities, yes.
to make those areas better?
Don't forget that telecommunication came to this country how many years back? Is it up to 20 years?
I think it's more than that.
Now, and in some other countries, even West African countries, it came earlier than that. What have we done between then and now?
And now, okay, Prof, let's quickly pay some bills. We'll be right back. We'll be right back shortly.
Win up to 5 million naira and other exciting prizes in the Golden Morn Golden Hunt promo. Buy any 30-gram or 45-gram promo pack. Look inside for a unique code. Dial *8011*1#. Follow the prompts to enter your unique code to win big. Promo ends April 15th, 2026. Golden Morn. Make every day golden.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. It's still AM120 on the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. I still have with me in the studio Professor Kazim Olanio, who is a legal scholar and, of course, legal scholar par excellence. Prof,
Thank you, sir.
we're still talking about this e-transmission of results. And we're talking about internet, communication, telecommunication companies.
Yes.
In fact, if you ask me, if our government in Nigeria are truly serious about this e-transfer,
Yes.
we would have expected that they would have partnered by way of subsidy.
Getting sophisticated, yes.
Yes, to ensure that these areas that have been identified, don't forget, we have identified these areas since 2022 or even before then. I mean, what have we done? What could government have done to see that we solve this problem to have, free, fair election?
Government could have done a lot, but it depends on the interest of those people living there. If their interest is not on the internet, and you go to the rural area, they are fighting, they are struggling to eat, they are struggling to mix.
Prof, trust me, there is no community
Yes.
where you don't see people. I've seen older women,
Yes.
men, who
Fiddling-
will tell,
fiddling with Android.
who have smartphones,
Yes.
and will be pestering their children. That, see, you're the one not allowing me to have an Android phone. I want one. You see them begging for it. And when they have some, you'll be surprised sometimes you see 80-year-old women, they go to open Facebook account.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many hours my mom spends on her mobile phone.
Yes.
And you see her sharing you some, information. Please, I've sent you this on WhatsApp. Check. I need you to read it. It's good for your children. So you don't want to tell me that.
I agree with you.
I mean.
But I must confess also that there are not so many. My own parent too. My father, before he died at the age of 90. In the last 10 years of his life, we are pestering him to have ATM card. Say, no, I'm comfortable
Because
with
he feels that it will take all his money.
that
That is for money.
That's the fear. That's for money. Of course, that's the electronic. That's the internet. It's not that they can't operate, but it might not be their priority.
But we have a role to play by creating awareness for
Making
internet
them know.
usage.
That is exactly what
By
I
way
am
of
saying.
saying that get your PVC, make sure that your community uses. There are ways we could do it.
The beginning of this process is the thumbprinting.
We have passed that area.
Yes. Now we came back to this, what do you call it? Manual
Yes.
data capturing
Yes.
and rest of them.
Yes,
To the
beavers,
extent that
IREP.
beavers, that is doing 3 things at a time.
Yes.
That's the beginning of electronic. We are progressing. But however, we have to be very careful not to use that electronic transmission of electoral results to disenfranchise large percentage of Nigerians. We have to be very careful. That's why I said, National Assembly can make it a point in the law It is allowed. It is now the INEC who will now look for ourselves as this particular requirement for the eligibility or for using internet transmission.
Prof,
Yes,
do you agree with me that if this is done,
yes,
the politicians you and I know we have in Nigeria,
we manipulate.
no, will begin to educate the older women,
Yes. How to use it.
the illiterates, I'm sorry to use that word, I'm
Yes.
trying to emphasize,
Yes.
on how to
Computer
use
literate.
it,
Yes.
on how to use it to ensure that the votes count.
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. Don't let us, forget the fact that they can still use them to, this illiterate, manipulate them to favor themselves, to feather their own nest. It is also possible.
Prof, you recall that there was a time where if you go to the polling unit,
Yes.
I can't remember clearly,
Yes.
or you get there, if you can't find your name on the electronic,
Yes. They will ask you to pass through the.
so you do the manual.
Yes.
Don't forget it was in this same country.
Yes.
So if
And
you
it's
get
been
to,
manipulated.
it was being manipulated,
Yes.
but what percentage? When we looked at what we have here,
You are
Prof,
the one who says.
no, Prof, we're trying to
2,
look at
3, 4 in each
w-
polling.
we're trying to look at alternatives.
Yes, we are trying to look at it.
We have said that we have over 178 polling thousand polling units. And we're saying only 100
Yes.
have this issue.
Okay. What about the remaining 78,000?
Now, so what are we doing first
Yes.
to resolve this issue with 100?
Let's start with Jonathan's election and Buhari. You remember Erubebe?
Yes. Oh,
It was the INEC chairman then, Atayiru Jega, said there have been 150 attempts to hack INEC server. Do you remember? When they were saying that, no, it must be done like this, and he wanted to, just as if he wanted to disrupt the election, the process, counting. He said 150 attempts.
at that time.
At that time. Within 2-3 days of presidential election. Simply because we must win. These are our politicians. We have to be very careful not to allow them to use law as a vehicle of one deceit and fraud.
So
That is the equitable maxim. Law will not allow you to use the statute for vehicle of fraud and deceit.
So, Prof,
And before they got to that, there are so many cases involved. What they said, law will not. For example, now, let me give you one example of that. In Yoruba customary law, we normally have what you call idigi. Idigi is
the lineage,
the lineage
of each
the
wife.
At a point in time, in some other customary law, inheritance, like Bini, is Igiogbe. What is the Igiogbe? Igiogbe is the first male child. First male child. Everything devolves to him. He will not be the one to now say, okay, you take this, you take this. Not the wife. Not the wife. Now, there was a situation where they now said, okay, fine. In your kingdom, the Arema, the first male child, takes over everything, including the throne of his father as Arema. Then something now happened. One Arema was found to be involved in the killing of his father because he wanted to get to that post in time. And he got to that post. That said, when they now found it out that, so you are the one who wanted your father to die early so that you can take quickly into the throne. They now changed it. All Aremas will now be contesting it with others, not automatic again. That's the exception. Because they want to change the law from having effect on the person who will benefit from using that same law to arrogate to himself the advantage. That is one of them. So if we know that this is Nigeria, and we know that politicians, both the one in governance, the present government, and the opposition, they are at their each other's loggerhead, and they are looking at each other as if I'm suspecting you want to take this side, so I must take the other opposite side, in order to further their own nest, which is not as a result of, they are so caring, they are so loving to the citizens and those people who voted for them. No, they are working for their pockets. If not because of that, we see in America, they still revert to manual counting when they have some doubt, when some issue occur in their own internet voting.
Okay, Prof.
So that's exactly why I said we have to.
So, in a nutshell, how do you think we should resolve that issue?
We have not actually gone through. We have said only one.
Yes, that's one. How do you think we should resolve it?
Well, we can resolve it through the provision. I don't want Senate to reject it outrightly. I want it to be there, but it should not be mandatory. It should not be a compulsion. You see, if these 1, 2, 3 conditions are there, INEC can go ahead. So INEC, it is now the voice of INEC to now say, here we have internet. We have checked.
And there must be a condition that there must be a check before you can.
Beautiful. In fact, it will put some other people on their toes to provide the internet.
Okay.
In the government.
Now let's look at the second one, which is voter identification and accreditation in clause 47.
Voters identification and accreditation. That one is very, very important.
So they have replaced the smart card readers with the bimodal voter accreditation system (BCOS) for accreditation and voting.
Yes.
Lawmakers rejected electronically generated voter identification. The permanent voters card remains the sole mandatory mode of identification at the polling unit.
So that means those who do not have electronic voting card, a voter's card, will be disenfranchised. That is not too good. You know what that means? You slot, just like you slot your ATM.
Yes.
You slot the ATM, it will show your data.
Yes.
Because when I slot my ATM into for example now, into one of my banks, it will say,
put your name straight up.
No, he said, welcome.
Yes,
Kazim.
welcome.
What can I do for you? That means this is me, identification. Then accreditation, I now pin my PIN number, and it's now giving me so much that things. So that one will not be possible if you don't have that ATM card, that voter's card, permanent voter's card.
Why will you not have permanent voter's card?
It might be lost.
But if it is
lost,
you can do the needful before that day.
Beautiful. That is if the time is now.
No, one of the things we have seen lately is that the transfer of voters from one location, for instance, if I move from place A.
Yes.
Okay, let me give you an instance. Over the years, I was living around Ring Road.
Yes.
When I moved towards this area in Basharon, Kobo area, I didn't move my polling unit.
Okay.
I will still go back there to vote. Despite being a journalist, I'll still go back to Ring Road to vote. Now I'm back in that area. So imagine if I've moved it.
Yes, you moved it
I will need to go back. So, but
you moved it back.
Now it's so easy. I have been
trying my own. It can be done electronically now.
Yes.
Yes. I want to move my home from Ibadan to Osogbo. But I was not too sure whether the voting will be in Ibadan or in Osogbo. Because I want to vote in this Osun election. In this one. So I may not be able to come back again to Ibadan to vote. I have to now transfer again. Why should I start transferring?
Then I think that the law, Prof, I think the law should hold you back.
Yes.
By saying that before you can do a transfer.
Yes, it must have
take
spent some certain...
maybe 10 years.
It is possible.
Because somebody can transfer from Osogbo to transfer to Osogbo to vote in. We have staggered election in Osogbo.
Yes.
To vote in Osogbo for the governorship.
Yes.
And still run back to transfer back to Ibadan. Vote for governorship.
No.
Because there are staggered elections.
It is possible, but why should I be disenfranchised because of that?
No,
that law will be harsh.
I'm coming. You want to vote in governorship election in Osogbo.
Yes. If I was in Osogbo as at that point, the next month I have to move from Osogbo for one reason or the other. I will not be able to.
And you vote in Oyo for governorship again. And
because
so
it is not the same election.
Now, Prof, it is. You can say this because you have a positive motive.
Okay.
Some people will naturally be moving right, left, center.
Manipulatively.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree with you. But if the law now mandates that you must have spent 10 years before you can transfer then that law will be harsh.
No, it's not going to be harsh. You only choose. I just gave you an instance. I chose to leave my polling unit around Ring Road.
Yes.
Because I knew that I would vote. So when it's time to vote, I know how to find my way to my polling unit.
Yes.
There's no election that I have not voted.
Okay.
So it's about
There are
determination.
some that I missed
Well,
because I was not there.
Well,
So, and I said, going through the stress of going to local government, but now it can be done electronically.
and so we should give kudos. And I think if it can be done electronically,
Yes.
let's even agree that some people can't do theirs electronically because of their
Now, let us
literacy
look at the
level.
other hand. Almost everyone in this country seems to have a phone, no matter how small.
Yeah.
And if not everybody has what you call an account, a single one with the bank, to be able to go through bank app, you go to the bank to collect your money, and you are expected to receive alert
On your phone.
perfectly. That one is about 95% perfect. Can't we borrow from that to be able to now use it for our election, so that if I go and vote on my own, just be supervised, an alert of my vote will be counted somewhere directly perfect, as if it is an alert.
Prof, we'll get there.
I like that.
Prof, we'll get there.
We are really moving.
Prof, we'll get there. Trust me, it's Nigeria.
Yeah,
This was not where we were when we gained independence. Our democracy didn't start this way. But we're moving forward. Trust me, it's progressing.
Although very slowly.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
We know we are.
So, Prof, in a nutshell, you
Yes.
feel that we are good with the with the beavers?
Yes,
And
it's
that-
okay,
and
because
that-
it does three things.
Yes,
together.
and that INEC should work more to ensure that PVCs are out.
Yes.
But before we leave that,
PVC are out, and we must work well.
I want to also say that there are a lot of PVCs
Out there, uncollected.
uncollected.
I'm telling you, sir.
And that is worrisome that the taxpayers' money is being wasted producing these cards. Why would somebody go on? I'm not talking about those that are dead.
Of course, if they are dead, are not expected to be so many.
But
Yeah,
again,
they might be part of
so
them.
what do you think is wrong? Because I've seen INEC doing a lot to invite people to pick up their PVCs.
That is why.
Should there be incentives to make people pick up their PVCs?
No, not necessarily.
Okay,
Not necessarily. I would not canvass for incentive.
okay.
I want to canvass that it is as a result of lack of positive mobilization in terms of encouragement. People are disenchanted. People are not so encouraged by the act of this politician.
Okay, let's play some bills. We need to go on a commercial break, Prof. When we come back, we look at the role that politicians are playing, or they should play, in
Yes.
ensuring we collect our PVC.
Yes,
Stay with us. And INEC. Stay with us, don't go away.
3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids.
Still AM120 on the Broadcasting Corporation of your state. And of course, I guess Professor Kasim Olani, or legal scholar, is still here with us talking about the proposed amendment to the
Yes.
Electoral Act.
And what the INEC need to do, as well as the politician, in terms of mobilization
Yes.
for electoral process.
Yes.
You see, in our young age, in our university days, we are told that that's what you call political behavior. That's a course in UI called political behavior. In that political behavior, they told us that there are so many types of participants in the electoral process, political process. Some of them will be apolitical. They will not even bother. I beg, let the person who will win. I don't know. I'm not interested. There are some that say, no, it must be this. There are some that say, my in-law, it's my in-law that is contesting. Let me run. I should participate. It is because of the interest. And in that political science lecture, they now said good citizens, bad citizens are elected by bad leaders are elected by good citizens who do not participate in the electoral process. So that means for those who did not participate, because they said no, all of them are nonsense, all of them are useless. You are contributing to bad people who are winning. So they must be told to be very interested in who governs them. I have so many in my community who say, I have stopped voting. I don't want to vote again. All of them, they are the same. How will you? It is because you did not vote that they are the same. Because you notice those who are not like them, who are not like others, but yet you chose to stay at home, not using your voice to put that person you think they are not the same, or who you think is not like them, to put them in power. And as a result, the bad people still continue to rule. I have a paper, I wrote a paper on the fact that the prisoners, they must have right to vote. It is good now.
Yes, we're there now.
That paper was written in 2012.
Wow.
And I submitted it to Federal Minister of Justice Donor.
Wow.
And I said, in that paper, and I said, look, it should not be as a result of their incarceration. Now you take that right out of them. They have that right.
Just like saying they don't have to eat because they're
yes,
prisoners.
because they are in prison. They are in prison. Those are the things I can pass that. Making a case for prisoners to vote as part of my paper, on the reform of the prison. It is good now that they are not there. But how many prisoners do we have? I will now say, okay, they are less than 1 million out of their 130 million. So we might not even know them. Or you might not even miss them if they don't vote. Yes, we might not move them. But there are some governors in the state that they want less than 500,000 votes.
And if those ones that casted their votes,
it will be something else.
If they had cast their votes.
And when we now say 10,000, for instance, will register, the collection of the PVC will now be 2,000. 20% of those who have registered. By the time they now want to vote, you now less than 20% of the 20% who collected the PVC. Where are we going? So that means the gross number of our citizens are not interested. And that's exactly why I said political parties. That's what we call party system, party democracy. These are one of those things that they are expected to do. And INEC as electoral body, umpire, they are expected to be involved. I think I came here several times, some times ago during Jonathan's election, build up to Jonathan's election, and I said it is one of their cardinal principles as National Orientation Agency to be involved.
They have been involved.
Yes. Sometimes ago, I was part of when the learned sick. Laguju was the chairman of OCEC of Oyo State. I was part of the consultants for them, on the, Lanesik, SCA, the chairman is even a law himself. But yet, he involved some of us to say, let us look at it. Where is the law? Which loophole can we block to have a successful election? I think I delivered about 2 or 3 papers for about 2 days of workshop. And one of those things that we said is that you, as the OCEC of Oyo State, you should be involved. Please, write to the governor to give you money enough to be able to mobilize citizens to come out to vote en masse. And they did that year because they took it as one of their counterparts.
Okay.
If you do that this time around, I think we are going to, record more.
I would have loved to still raise some more issues around that mobilization.
Okay.
But because our time is spent, we still have 4 points. Let's go to the revised election timelines. The Senate approved of significant reductions to administrative timelines.
Okay.
Notice of election, clause 28, reduced from 360 days to 180 days before the election date. Submission of candidate list, clause 29, reduced from 180 days to 90 days before the general election. How do you see this?
I don't see the need or the reason why they did that. Maybe INEC submitted a proposal on that because there was a time when INEC said releasing the timetable a whole 1 year before the election, a lot of things
would have changed.
A lot of things. And they will not. Our electoral process have not been so sophisticated enough to be able to foresee or take care of all foreseeable defects.
And that was why we have logistic challenges.
Yes. So that means, because what I see in that provision, the whole provision is that it gives INEC on their toes right from the beginning. Start working.
And
but now, when it is now 190, from 360 to 190, that is
6 months.
It's well.
And I think it's fantastic.
They can do a lot anyway, but
I think it's fantastic when an election ends and you see INEC, their timeline is out.
It's already out. You start preparing.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
And sometimes you wonder.
Too short.
Sometimes you wonder, even 3 years to another election,
Yes.
you see activities and you're like, and you're like, wow.
The PVC, the time for you to collect it, that means the time for collection of the PVC on collected PVC will be now reduced, will be now restricted to like a month.
So we need to return this
because
back to what it was.
They must know how many people are going to vote before they start preparing the voters list, the voters paper, the ballot paper address of them. Then the politician, they must have got their own party primaries right from the world to the so they will have to do all those within 6 months and release the name to INEC so that INEC can register them.
But don't you think that this is a strategy by some political party to
strangulate
the others? Because the current situation that we have in the country with some political parties, at the end of the day, they may not be able to participate in the election.
Within a year, a political party that just registered can get over, can do a lot of things within a year. But this 6 months,
strangulating each other. All right,
I don't subscribe to that particular provision.
Yes, let's look at penalties. Okay, yes, penalties for PVC offenses, clause 22. The Senate rejected a proposed 10-year prison sentence for the buying and selling of PVC instead.
What was the whole one?
So it's retained the 2-year imprisonment term, increased the fine from 2 million to 5 million. So how much would you have taken?
You see, for me, I don't want it reduced.
Okay.
Because there are some principles of punishment, especially when you are found guilty. But in this way, they have not even been able. How many people have been arrested?
Let alone prosecuted.
Prosecution. Why are they? What is the data that supplies them? Yeah, the motive for changing, for reducing it. Have they found it out that this thing has not served as a deterrent?
Because it has not served at all.
They have not. How many people in this country have been arrested for PVC offenses and they have been sent to jail?
Okay.
For them to now say, no, so I don't subscribe.
Trust me, we'll get there.
Yes.
But as much as legal luminaries...
I'm trusting you because like you are the electoral of
not at all, prof. I won't do that. All right, let's look at number 5. Legal evidence and non-compliance, clause 142. The Senate struck out clause 142, which would have allowed parties to prove non-compliance using only original or certified documents without the need for oral evidence. The provision was removed to prevent what lawmakers termed a waste of time in court. So, Prof, over to you.
You see, it's laughable. It's laughable. You see, our justice system is adversarial. What I mean by adversarial is that the judge is disinterested. He doesn't want to know who you are. I am here. Even if I hear anything, I pretend as if I didn't hear. If I see, I pretend as if I didn't see.
I just do my job.
Yes, I just do my job. For example, a judge sitting on his balcony in his house, looking outside, and he saw a group of armed robbers snatching the vehicle of that man. even if he's the one who actually called police to come and arrest that gang of armed robbers. And it now happened that before him, this same gang armed robber were arraigned, and they were saying, no, we are not armed robber. You can say, I saw you. That's what I'm saying. The judge will be disinterested. He will not say,
you have to bring your facts forward.
Look at me where.
You have to bring your facts forward.
So that piece of evidence that is so crucial to the proof, the point of proof is on the person who alleges.
So prove that this person is
You say
guilty.
in law, we say electoral trial or electoral cases are sui generis. Sui generis means that they have a peculiarity that you might not be able to do in some other. This is a straightforward case. Peculiarity that is avast, that is only limited to those cases in that manner. Now, they are now trying to say those pieces of evidence are no longer necessary. It's because it's a waste of time.
What do you think this removal is trying to achieve?
Maybe because they have reduced the
Number of
days within which to deliver judgment in an electoral matter.
But do you think that this
It's
justifiable?
It's not well intended. It's not well intended. To me, it's not justifiable.
Okay.
It's not justifiable.
I don't
What
want to...
what you have done is that it is INEC who should come to court to prove that, yes, this person that won actually won. Not the person who lost. Not say, yes, I'm the one who should be the clear winner.
And that's what this place is saying.
No, that's not what he says. That's what Ways Commission reform. That is what he says. And they have not been able to do that. Instead, they are still removing the pieces of evidence.
Wow. Okay, let's quickly look at the sixth one, which is the last one. Ballot paper inspection, clause 44. The Senate retained the existing process for ballot paper verification.
Yes.
Parties have 2 days to submit a written approval or disapproval of the representation on those samples. INEC must invite political parties to inspect their identities on sample electoral materials at least 20 days before an election.
Those ones are okay.
Because, I mean, it helps us not to disenfranchise anyone, who should actually be on the ballot paper.
Yes, as a result of my name not being the ballot, no.
Now, Prof, having looked at all of this,
Yes.
that are major issues.
Yes.
Now, I'd like us to look at it.
But the one that people are talking about so much is the electronic transmission.
Yes, the electronic. Forgetting that there are others that are also very important that we have.
Hidden damage.
That we have looked at this morning.
Maybe because they are not enlightened into that aspect.
No, I also think
a lot of opposition have not picked on it. Because the opposition are the one sensitizing the country or the political
opposition.
supporters.
Okay.
Into it.
Now, don't you think that in all of this, what is the advantage from all of this that we have looked at?
Okay. The advantage outweighs the disadvantage. To me, the advantage is that, look, just like you said several times now, we are improving. Although to me it's too slow, but we are improving. We are moving forward. Except that clause on evidence, which makes us to move backward. All other ones are showing us that we are no longer there. You see, let me say, as a philosopher, it is possible for you in your course of movement to be stopped in an obstacle. When you are moving, there might be an obstacle that will stop. You are stopped with the obstacle. But you will not, because of the pain you will encounter in being stuck with that obstacle, and say, I won't move. So the philosopher now said, you will stop your toes by moving. But the pain you realize in your toes means that you have moved somewhere. You are no longer there when you are moving. That means you are no longer there. But if you stay in a single place, you won't stop your toes. That means you are no movement. That is there. So the pains that we are going to encounter in moving in this way will outweigh will not be up to what we are going to enjoy when those things becomes a palpable reality.
Okay, Prof. Let's of course, the Senate is expected to hold emergency plenary on Tuesday over the Electoral Act amendment.
To debate, finally.
Well, vis-a-vis
after the third reading now.
Yes, vis-a-vis all this, what should Nigerians expect from the Tuesday's plenary?
Well, I am also a Nigerian, so you will ask me. I'll answer that question in terms of what do I expect. One, I expect the senators to now listen to the yearnings of Nigerians. That outright rejection of electronic transmission is not the best for us.
Okay.
At best, what they can do is to make it part of our electoral process with conditions, with proviso. That proviso, to me, will make whoever want to meet with the proviso to be on their toes, to work earnestly towards development of internet facility in their community. That is how I'm thinking. Secondly, as Nigerians, by the time they pass this bill, I'm expecting that this particular days, reduction of days for 6 months, I take it as it is not well intended as an enlightened Nigeria, because reducing the time for election preparation, that's the meaning. You don't reduce it. Have they been preparing well? Because if you can only reduce that if you know that INEC has been over preparing. We see how it is. We see how hiccups here and there. Why do you now reduce the number of planning days for INEC? INEC does not own the police. INEC does not own the so-called ad hoc staff. They have to go through trainings. They have to register. INEC does not have the power to compel people to collect their PVCs. You have to leave enough time. Even at times, the political parties might even give incentives and some other things. INEC does not have automatic power for the mobilization of people to get interested in the election. Why do you reduce these dates? So I expect the National Assembly, the Senate, to do the needful by reversing to the whole 1 year, 360, not 190. Thirdly, I expect that the number for those who are found guilty of...
10 to 2 years, it's absurd. They could have even said 8 years, 7 years.
You see, when in law, when it comes to sentencing, there's so many factors you have to look at. So if you are now reducing, then there must be statistics to back that increasing it has not served the necessary deterrent that it is expected or it is designed to.
Or is there somebody in prison already
I don't know. Because I parade prisons in terms of getting pro bono cases for my NGO, in terms of my reform of prisons. See them, what is your own problem, blah, 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 blah. That's how I'm involved in prison reformation, in my own individual way. So I've not seen anybody who say, I didn't have a lawyer. I normally ask them to brief me if I can represent them. But I've not seen any politically motivated case there out of their waiting trial, talk less of being prosecuted. I am writing a paper which I had to now do some research, and I found out that it's still 85% above the congestion, and the awaiting trials are 67% of the prisons awaiting trials. They are even more than those convicted. Awaiting trials are not meant for prison, but they are being kept because available offense.
So why are we keeping them there?
Some of them refuse the bail. Some of them don't even have the bail.
Ooh.
And I'm telling you. And
some don't have the bill.
Some of them holding charge that have been abolished in some other places.
So what are we supposed to do to decongest?
Holding charge means that you charge somebody with an offense and you take him to a court that does not have jurisdiction to try that case.
And you keep him in prison.
So nobody can get the
So
bill.
what are we...
You go to the court that has jurisdiction over that case. There's so many.
So what are we supposed to do can somebody not sue the correctional centers for keeping these people, or sue the court itself?
No, it's not the court.
So is it the correctional center?
It is the police that we charge.
And so somebody should, take up the
there are so many of
Nigerian
them
police force
that we spend several months in the correctional center simply because that particular our charge has been sent to DPP and it's awaiting DPP's
How long is it supposed to take DPP to just give advice?
DPP's advice.
How long is it supposed to take DPP?
Some of them are taking months.
Why?
So you are not talking about we lawyers too. We are part. We lawyers, we are part of it. Because
how?
Of course, you we not want to adjourn our application for bail. When you get to court, they say the DPP is not ready. They don't file it. The DPP is opposing that bail. You now state, what are those reasons? Some courts are so dynamic that they will not release him. They will not release that person. I said, no, go and fight. If you are ready to charge him now. Let's know the charge.
Now, what's our National Human Rights Commission and the Legal Aid Council? What are they doing to? Because I mean, these are some of the people that should be working assiduously to help people.
They are not doing enough.
Wow.
Because these are officers of government. These are officers of government. How was the empowerment to do more?
Prof, are you sure we have enough hands in those places?
We don't. Legal aid are there. You might say in the entire Oyo state, they might have 2 or 3.
So how will that be possible?
Some say they have only 1, and they have multiples of cases.
So what are
would they be able to?
What are the requirements to get people to be in the legal aid?
Is to empower them in terms of resources, in terms of manpower,
so
in terms of facilities, in terms of money.
So do you think that maybe government is intentionally not
empowering them? Of course. It's part of what the government should have done, which they are not doing.
The situation.
We spend money on so many other things.
Frivolities?
Yes, frivolities. Without looking towards that side of the welfare.
So we need to pay attention.
We need to pay attention.
To the citizens?
Yes, to the citizens. Especially those who are incarcerated, not because of their fault or the fault of their own, but because of one infringement or the other, which have not been proven. They have not been proven. They are still suspects.
Okay, Prof. Having looked at all this, I still want us to look at other areas.
Yes.
Now that there's going to be a plenary tomorrow.
Yes.
Of course, in the report, the opposition lawmakers said that some senators from opposition parties have also raised concern, insisting that what was eventually passed on the floor of the Senate did not reflect the consensus reached during several prolonged closed-door sessions held before the matter was brought for plenary consideration.
I'm afraid they are just making it out of 1,000.
Say that again.
I said, I'm afraid those opposition members are just making it a two out of 1,000.
What does that mean?
It's just a thunderstorm in the cup.
No.
They know that National Assembly operates in terms of majority. If you are in a minority, you might have your say, but you might not have your way. What they should do is just to persuade those in the majority to join them, so that they who are making crying foul of certain things will be in the majority at the end.
Now we have passed that stage, Prof, because they have not been able to achieve that.
They have not.
But civil society, opposition parties, many Nigerians,
we will have our say too.
Yes, exactly.
Like we are having our say.
Exactly, that's the point I'm making.
Have our way.
Are you thinking that all of this reversal you have talked about
yes.
may not see the light of day?
That's what I am expecting.
That you not see the light of day?
What if my expectation is dashed and it doesn't see the light of day? What will I do? I will go and beat them.
So that means that initially, Prof, that means, or that, don't let me say that
means.
That's
the expectation of
so that it will not, that might mean, Prof, that initially when this act was brought before the National Assembly,
yes,
there was a predetermined plan.
What do you think?
I'm saying that might. I didn't say.
Yes. What do you think might have caused that delay? So long a delay.
To have prepared. How many months? To have prepared to have it in a particular direction.
Yes.
So it means that ordinarily we are wasting our time. Ordinarily we are wasting tax.
Might mean. You said it.
Yes, might.
I agree with you. That might mean that we have been wasting our time. We have been wasting our saliva. We have been wasting our energy.
Taxpayers' money.
Yes.
So for how long are we going to continue to waste our time?
That's the question we're supposed to ask those senators.
Prof, are they
really representing us?
Prof, as a legal luminary, yes. I think it is time for people in your profession, in your industry, to begin to look at the costs that we're expending.
The cost of governance?
No, expending on this kind of process.
Yes,
that does not yield positive results for Nigerians.
It doesn't.
Rather, it turns the situation back. So, in other words, Prof, if this event turned out to be what you do not expect, against your thoughts.
Yes.
How do you think we should go about it as
We
Nigerians?
should, for example, this sensitization program that this station is holding is for that purpose. Those people out there who are yearning for things like that, you are trying to, your station here is trying to tell them that we are seeing you, we are part of you, we have not left you alone, or we are not leaving you alone. We will continue to cry, we will continue to shout, we will continue to talk. And program like this should be constant in terms of calling those who supposed to hear to say this is our grievance and we want things done in that manner. That's what we can do. Because we cannot go there and beat them. Civil society too has their own. They can hold rallies. They can hold rallies, and I want this civil society to join parties so that in their own parties too, they will be pressing it on it that we have not done this, we have not done this. Not for you alone, but the generality of the citizens. Because these days now, our party system in Nigeria means that you must be a card-carrying member before you can benefit.
Prof, what value do you see in joining political party as we round off?
Especially in this circumstance.
Looking at what we are seeing on a daily basis with our political parties.
Yes, you see, I have said it. I said, bad leaders are elected by good citizens who refuse to participate. If I have the clout, I have the interest to contest for governor, even if I think I may not win. And I will be thinking, what if I win? And I said, I may not win, so let me not even show my face. When good people refuse to show their face or to participate in the political process, then they are giving the arena, they are giving the field to those who are, well, like one of my oga would say, shenanigans. You know, those shenanigans who call themselves politicians. Yes. We were leaving the state for them.
Prof, you would agree with me that I will keep using the word improvement.
Yes.
We have improved.
We are improved.
If you look at it about 10, 15 years ago,
yes,
we had those having those shenanigans.
Yes.
At the end of affairs.
2007 election.
I don't want to even mention
a serious one.
Now, are we not improving? Is it not getting better?
It's getting better.
I must say a big thank you. It's been a great conversation with Professor Kazim Olaniyan, a legal scholar who's been with us on the program this morning. It's been great having you on the program. I mentioned it earlier. It's going to be educative, interesting, and worthwhile. Thank you very much on behalf of our producers and crew members for being a guest on the program this morning. We value you, sir. All right, on this note, we'll go on a break. And when we come back, it's going to be sport updates. Stay with us. Don't go away.